Hi there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video we are going to be putting out some liquid nitrogen. That's the first thing we're doing today, putting it out on our silage ground. So it's not really late, I suppose. It's in around the time that we usually put it out. We're aiming to have our silage cut around the last week in May, so we're thereabouts. If we get it out now, it's got close on about 8 weeks roughly for it to get used up, zapped up, and should be ready for cutting. So yeah, what we are a little bit late with is some of our slurrying. We have one of our fields, we got it slurried about 3 weeks ago. It was a very dry field. There's another field, I done a couple of loads in it, but probably about 5 loads in it yesterday, and it was a little bit sticky, so we didn't slurry any of it today. It's to be dry until tomorrow evening at the latest, which is Saturday evening. So I intend to get it finished tomorrow, but we're going to put out the liquid N on all the silage ground now today. That is the plan. This field here was grazed laid on, but there is a nice coating of grass on it, or covering of grass, so we're not going to bother slurrying this, because slurry is just going to end up down in, if you dribble it on, it's going to end up down in on top of the grass, and yeah, it's just going to be, it'll lay there, it'll end up, it mightn't get broke down depending on what the weather does. So just going to put a good going of liquid nitrogen on it. We're going to pop on close on 90 unit. It'll get a nice going of liquid N, and it'll be enough to drive it on. So yeah, that's where we are with the silage ground. I've just set everything more or less up here on the screen. You can see 360 litres per hectare is what we were going to be putting on. Everything else then is set. We have it on auto, and it'll do all the rest. The GPS then, as we start to move, I'll put an AB line down, and we'll have our hopefully self-steer then up and down the field once we have the headlands done. So I'll get going, and when I have the headlands done, I'll come back and I'll show you how we're getting on then. Alright, so we have our headlands done. We've just opened up the field a little bit, and we have a couple of passes done now just across. Not a whole pile for me to do at the minute, just to steer it at the headlands. So yeah, basically sprayer or tractor is doing everything there at the minute. It's keeping it roughly at a steady 360 litres per hectare. It can fluctuate a little bit. See the way there, it's just down to 343 for a second. So it depends. If you have a wee bit of a hill where the tractor dropped down in speed, it could do that on you, but yeah, as a rule it keeps it fairly steady. So you wait for the beep, gives you a warning beep initially. Some stage, no, it didn't give you a warning beep. But anyway, we've got to the end. It's turned off the sections on the sprayer. It's now just, hear that beep, I have to just press it now. She'll take it round herself into position, and it's on the right track now down the field, and the sprayer has started to spray away then again. So it's kind of idiot proof. Once you have it set up and you kind of have a good idea of how to use it, it's idiot proof. You always know that you're going to have the right rate, and yeah, it's, look at it, with the price of this stuff, you want it right, you just want it right. So yeah, not taking too long to do this field. Hopefully I should have, we still have 1,000 litres or 900 litres left in the tank, and we are well on the way through the field. So yeah, the full of the tank will easily do this field. So yeah, keep at it and get it finished.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the
I'm just going to stick a little bit of footage in here that I got of Dad. Dad was lucky enough to get over to the John Deere factory in Germany. So the factory itself is based in Mannheim, and he took a couple of wee clips and photos, and I just said I'd kind of stick them in here together and maybe make a little bit of video and just comment on it. Yeah, the tour itself was organised by our John Deere dealer, Handling Machinery. So Handling Machinery organised the trip over, basically for anyone who has recently purchased in the last maybe, I don't know, a year or so, a new tractor. Obviously we purchased one last year, so we were invited to go over on it. Both of us actually intended to go. Now there was a free trip over for one, and the other would have had to pay something or pay some bit of money, but wouldn't have been an issue. But with cows calving and we still had cattle inside, trying to get cover for all that just wasn't simple, and one of us kind of had to stay. So I was over before in 2009 on a previous trip, and Dad was never over before, so I thought it was better just that he got over. But yeah, the trip itself, as I say, organised by Handling Machinery. It was an absolutely fantastic trip. Great bunch of guys over on it.
This is the biggest Lance tractor.
Everything went on well, lots of crack, lots of mingling. Just a great trip, just from what I've heard. So I kind of feel sorry now that I wasn't on it. But yeah, the trip itself included a tour of the factory and the floor where the tractors are all built. You get to visit the museum here where we're seeing a little bit of footage of it now. You get to go to the cab factory, and you also got to tour the parts department, so basically the big parts storage area, and I think they explained to you how the overnight shipping works and getting the parts out to get your tractor back up and running fast. One of the things here you might notice just on this bit of footage of the museum is that some of the earlier tractors you've seen there were Lance tractors. Well, Lance tractors were purchased by John Deere back in the day. So John Deere had no tractors initially, and when they did purchase, they purchased this Lance brand, and they're an important part of John Deere's history, and the transition on to the green and yellows. So yeah, nice to see so many of them there and restored and on display. You are quite restricted in what footage you can take when you're on these tours. I remember that from the last time when I was there. So yeah, that's why there's not much footage other than the bit around the museum and of what all you see now on the video. The cutout, I don't remember that cutout of like the 6400 being there before, but maybe it was. The one thing I do remember is, and we're coming I think up to it now in a minute, the centerpiece of the whole, there she is there, the centerpiece of the whole museum for me was, back then, was the 6400. It was the 1 millionth tractor off the line in Germany. I think it's around 1986 or 7 it was built, and John Deere kept it. Now it was a well spec'd, we'll see it in a second, that's just a cab with the current the current instruments and levers and everything in it. You can get in and have a look at that if you wanted to see it. But yeah, it's a well-spec tractor, built new. They knew obviously it's going to be the 1 million tractor. The spec up well. They put metallic paint on it, and it is a beauty. There she is there with the 1 million sticker across the front window. That was there. That was actually on the last time when I was over as well. But yeah, bit of history just sitting there in the showroom, brand new tractor, and yeah, it's an absolute beauty. I don't know what hours is on it or anything like that, and whether it gets much movement, or even if it even runs. It probably does. I don't know. The other thing was, literally the week beforehand, the 2 million tractor rolled off the line. So Dad got some pictures with it as well, which you'll see now. It's coming up very shortly. This bit of footage now, I think it's taken just outside the factory itself. I didn't take it, so I was kind of seeing some of this for the first time as well. So it's combine on display, and it looks like a 6R series with a loader on display as well. Here's a 7R series on display. Also looks like it's parked outside, or maybe it's inside. This one, I'm not sure. This looks like it's inside. And a 55 series John Deere as well. I can't just see what it is. This was interesting here. It's actually a John Deere transmission with I think it's an electric motor on the back of it, and this electric motor is going to power like a ground drive tanker. So some new technology which is on the way. Here's Dad standing with the 2 million tractor off the line, which is a 250R. So yeah, it's parked now in alongside the 1 million tractor off the line, and you can see the stickers on the bonnet are of staff members that works in the Mannheim factory. So big thank you to Handling Machinery for organising a fantastic trip over. One thing that Dad said, we've been in a good few of the John Deere factories in America, and he said this was a much better tour than the American ones, because it's much more detailed and it's not as rushed. So he really enjoyed it. So yeah, big thank you once again. Alright, so on to the last bit of the video. We're going to have a look at the calving and how it's going. We're also going to have a little look at the stabilisers, because I keep getting asked about the stabilisers and how we're getting on with them, and I'll let you know how we're getting on with the crypto as well, and if there's any issues with that. So we'll start off with first how the calving's going. It's going well. It's going well. We're happy enough with how it's going compared to some other years. The crypto, we're keeping it at bay at the minute. We've changed the treatments that we're using this year. We're using Gabrovet and probiotics. So giving Gabrovet in morning and probiotics in the evening, or vice versa. So they're getting that, the calves, for about 7 days roughly. Some of them might have got a little bit longer, just as the treatment was being done. So pretty simple treatment, and it seems to be working so far. Now, we're not finished yet, so maybe that might change, but so far, no crypto, which it's a big thing for us, because the crypto was having a knock-on effect on calves. Even with calves we get it, we usually started getting a problem around 15-20 calves in, and when the calves would get it, then even you got them over it, you'd lose some with it every year. Even you got them over it, the ones that had it, their immune system was affected. So when you then let them outside, they were getting sick, and you were having issues with them. They'd get chills when they really shouldn't have. And the fruits of it are them ones that, these ones this year that haven't gotten sick, is the ones that we've gotten out. We've let out 14 so far, and all going well with them. Got them out they're out now almost a week. And yeah, they're doing fantastically well. Delighted with how they're doing. Great to have them out. We split our calving this year with the sole purpose of being able to get the cows and calves. Not have them all calving at the one time, and then the initial ones, if we have to keep them in, we could then get them out before the second batch started to calve. Now, we didn't anticipate the weather being this bad, which I don't think any of us did. But even at that, and being delayed on getting the calves out, it has still worked out well. The second batch is only just starting to calve now, and we're going to get some more calves out hopefully now tomorrow. So yeah, so far so good. So happy with how the crypto's going, happy that we split the calving, and yeah, it's going well. We've got about 30 cows calved. There's a couple of cows that proved not to be in calf, so we're well over halfway on the calving, which is great. Now, loss was wise. I did mention a couple of the calves that we had issues with. We had a cow with twins that the calves were tangled up in each other, and we didn't get out in time, so we that cow lost both calves. We had another calf that was born and about a week old, which when it got sick and died, it had the cow licked its navel, the calf's navel off within the first couple of days. The calf took an infection which got into its bowels and intestines, and then the calf just deteriorated slowly for about a week, and we couldn't keep, nothing you could do. Vet out numerous times, nothing we could do with it, so that was another loss. And then we had a stabiliser then, which one of the few stabilisers we have left of the ones that we purchased lost the calf. The stabilisers have been an absolute and utter disaster. That's all I'd call them. So she's in now to get fattened as well. This is one of only 2 stabilisers that's left for calving, or that's left altogether, is this one here. She's actually the best one on it. She's the only one that grew, and the only one I think that you could class maybe as potential to be a good suckler cow. So yeah, that is her. The other one here, which is pretty much the same as all the rest of them, there she is there. So you can see they never grew. They're still the same size as they were when they come. So we had one thing after another. One last year died in calving. The calf wasn't even that big. She just couldn't get the calf out of her, and that was one. We had another one. Her calf was outside, and the calf kept laying in an area where there was a gate, and she put her head into the gate and slipped and fell and hung herself. So but she wasn't actually too bad. She was probably the best one after this one here that's in for calving. So yeah, stabilisers, we wouldn't be happy with them. Now maybe there is other breeds of them that would be better and bigger. So yeah, look at anyway, that's the stabilisers. We would not happy with them. This girl will lay on for a while. If she goes okay, she calves all right, and then she'll be kept on. But the other small one, if she calves okay, she's going to rear the calf, and that's it. She's not going to get back with the bull. But yes, that's calving going okay. The weather now, if it picks up, we get some more outside, and it should free up a lot of space then in the shed, because there's not that many left. There's about 15 I think left to calve, 16 in around, and yeah, so that's where the calving is. Beef cattle, we've got rid of some beef cattle this week. We got rid of the other thing is we slaughtered some beef cattle this week, 8 heifers and 8 bulls. So I'm always being asked about when I put up some of the weights of them and grades of them. So I think I'll maybe do a little, maybe in the next video during the week, I'll put just a little picture up of the weights and the grades of the cattle, and you can see just how they've done. And I'll maybe show some of the other bulls as well. We've some more going this week as well, and we'll have a look at them in the shed. So I'll leave that in the next video. But yeah, that's where we are. Hopefully the weather is to pick up now this week. Over the weekend now, it's a little bit changeable, it'll be a bit cold, but they're saying after that it's going to be dry for next week to 10 days. We need it badly, and we'll get some more slurry out. We still slurried a bit out on hay ground. We have fertilised a bit out in the hay ground. There'll be the sprays on the winter barley, there'll be sprays on the winter wheat coming, and lots of other work that needs done. So we're way behind. The weather has absolutely left us way behind with everything, but we're all in the same boat. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions, leave a like in there. I kind of forget how to do this because I haven't done it in a couple of weeks. Leave a like in the video if you like the video, and yeah, hit the sub button if you enjoyed it, because we will have lots more videos coming over the next few weeks as we get very, very busy, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. So take care, have a good weekend, we'll see you in the next one.